Today's episode is brought to you by Raycon. Raycon is going to get you those good earbuds so you can listen to music every day. Now let's jump into this podcast. Hello, everybody. It's time for Calls on Crendor.
Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studio. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's up next Stranding in the morning. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Sound like you said hello, buddy.
Hello, buddy.
Hello, buddy. Welcome back.
Well, maybe I was talking to my buds out there. Buddies.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird word when you think about it. Like a buddy, like a bud. So you think of buds, think of like flowers, right? Like there's flower buds.
You're about to make me look this up. We just started. Where does buddy come from? Late 18th century, perhaps an alteration of brother.
What?
From British slang for buddy, B-U-T-T-Y, or companion.
Oh. Well, where's buddy come from then?
Probably, like all things, Americans just, warped it a little bit over the years.
Oh, yeah. So it's like brother, but then buddy. It's like butter. So I guess it's kind of like butter.
Interesting. It's so weird that under the use of buddy, someone asked, is it considered derogatory?
What?
When has that ever been the case? You know what? The internet. Asking the questions no one has ever dared to ask. You know what? That's fine, I guess.
Dude, the internet used to be fun.
It did. Now I dread it to the extent that I'm like, I can't ever say anything or do anything without someone. We've talked about this before, but it's the whole
Yeah.
I like pancakes. It's like you didn't even mention waffles. Waffles are so much, but that's not the conversation we were having. Yeah.
I mean, that's literally every pointless top 10 I make. Someone's like, you forgot this guy. I'm like, no, I didn't. I still put him on the list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I even heard a thing. There's a quote somebody had. I don't know who it's from, but I thought it was a true quote, which was, we used to go on the internet to escape reality. Now we go to reality to escape the internet.
There's got to be a third place because I don't like either.
Well, it's because everybody's connected now. They're always connected to the internet, so people are like, I gotta go outside, I gotta touch grass, I gotta walk around, right? That's your escaping the internet. Because now you're just so hooked into the internet. Sure.
I think, like, when you think about reality, you think about all the other nonsensical things happening there, and how some of it you're just like, that's where jobs are. That's
Well,
where,
that's true too, yeah.
drama is. And so I think, maybe that whole escape to nature thing is where people want to be, except now we're actively going out our way to like get rid of more and more nature. So I don't have an answer, but I will say it does interest me greatly in Kojima's newest Death Stranding. I don't know did you play the first Death Stranding game?
I've watched people play it a bit.
Like, metaphor-wise, the game's phenomenal. Because basically the first Death Stranding is like, hey, in a world where everyone is divided and things are a mess, you can either make the active choice to connect with other human beings, or you can cut yourself off from the world. The bad guy is literally an incel. Like, it is, like, that is the bad guy of that thing. He keeps himself in his, air quotes, basement, and he, hates the world because, they don't get him, and no one's like that kind of thing. And then the main character is a guy who metaphorically reaches out to others, and he becomes a better person for it because he forms connections. It's a game, where you go around delivering mail and shit, but you're building bridges is literally the point, like that kind of thing. And I loved that. I thought it was amazing, and it kind of was this COVID-esque, in a world where we're all separated, let's connect and let's get together and let's learn from each other. The sequel, I think, is fascinating because it is so very the modern aftermath of that, where the premise literally is, maybe we made a mistake. Which I think is fascinating, where it's like, hey, we connected, everyone in the world got together, maybe some people shouldn't have been connected. Like, some people were better off not connecting with others because it only made them worse. And I think that's fascinating. And I can't wait to play this game because I know he's going to have like a hot take. And I'm pretty sure I know what the hot take's going to be. But I'm like, I can't wait to see where this story goes for a story that literally is like a dude with a baby who delivers mail.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a very compelling way of delivering a story, but it is fascinating.
It's like he just selected a random profession. He was like, this'll do. Like, this'll work.
I genuinely think he watched, like, it does have Kojima stuff. There's weird goop monsters and strange rain that makes you age quickly. Like, there's bizarre things.
Right.
But I genuinely think he watched the movie, is the Postman? I think that's what it is. The Kevin Costner movie that was a giant bomb and is actually not a great movie, but is fascinating because it's literally about a guy who delivers mail in a post-apocalyptic U.S. and everyone's like, that man was a hero.
Dude, this movie's 3 hours long.
Yeah,
Hell?
it's crazy long. I believe he self-financed it, I think. And when he showed it to screeners and different people watching it, they were like, please shorten this movie. It doesn't need to be this long. And he was like, never. And admittedly, it feels like sometimes you see a 3 hour movie and you're like, wow, that was fast. Nah, it feels like 3 hours.
Probably feels even longer.
It has a lot of, those dramatic scenes where slow-mo riding a horse holding an American flag. We're going to bring back the U.S., baby. There's a lot of that.
Have you ever seen Kevin Costner's Waterworld?
Yes, I actually kind of like Waterworld. It's not a great movie, but it's fun. And I will say, the best part of Universal Studios.
Oh.
If you're ever in LA, I'll take you to Universal Studios. We have to go see the Waterworld show. It's actually amazing. I love that show. They fly a plane in, there's explosions, it's great. It's super fun.
Because the only reason I know about Kevin Costner's Waterworld is I was seeing Simpsons clips, and there's the one where Milhouse is putting the quarters into an arcade machine, and he's playing Kevin Costner's Waterworld, and you take one step, and he's just like, put more quarters in to continue playing. And he's like, oh, man. And he starts putting quarters in again.
It is a weird movie about a world where, I guess the oceans rose and flooded everything, and everyone lives in the water. And I have a lot of questions about how people survive in this world. It seems like they've done it for a while, but also everyone's about to die all the time. It really is just like a weird movie. Again, it's not great, but I think it's fun compared to the other one he made, the Postman or whatever. That's like, I don't know. It's kind of a drag.
It's, look at it. Kevin Costner's made a lot of, like, mediocre movies. Almost like Nick Cage tier.
Yeah, I think the difference is he had a lot of major hits back, like, made him a bunch of money. And so he wanted to invest that money into making other movies. And a lot of them just aren't great.
Yeah.
Nick Cage is like, I made a bunch of money, but I made terrible choices and bought like dinosaur skulls and all sorts of other shit instead of actually making more movies with it. So now he's in bad movies, but I don't think it's because he wants to be in them. Kevin Costner is like, I want to make a movie about the 1800s and how tough it was to be in America. It's an 18-hour epic. And people are like, Kevin, we don't need that. He's like, I need it. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Dude, I don't know what this movie is. I got a TikTok of Nick Cage, and they're like, I can't believe Nick Cage is acting in this. And he's like dressed up as this weird vampire guy.
Is it Renfeld?
It's not Renfeld. He's like a side character or some shit.
Is it Longlegs?
Maybe it's Longlegs.
The one,
but it's
because that's the horror movie where he is the bad guy, and he's only in like a little bit because most of the time it's like, who is this monster man? Yeah,
it's got to be that because they're like, I can't believe his voice, and he's like, you want to take me out, I'll take you out. Like he's talking like that.
Oh, interesting.
And it's the craziest shit. I wonder if I can just send it to you. I
am here for that. Yeah, if you want to send it to me, I'll watch it. I don't I don't know what it could be. The thing is,
It's
when you just
gunslingers.
gunslingers? What the hell?
Yeah,
I was about to say,
hold
when you
on.
describe Nick Cage doing a weird voice in a movie that he's barely in, that could be any number of movies.
All right. Hold on. I've just sent it to you on TikTok so you can hear it.
Oh boy.
You gotta hear it. It's genuinely insane. I guess this movie's coming out this year, or it just came out. So this might already be a classic. It's got 3.5 stars.
Yo. All right. For people who are curious what he sounds like, I'll give you 2 examples. 1, have you seen The Batman? The guy who plays the chief of police in The Batman. That guy. Or 2, General Grievous.
He kind of does sound like General Grievous.
General Kenobi! That's what he sounds like.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's like, this hell the pain on. Well, the best part about this is in the clip, it looks like it's the year 1867. Except Nick Cage is wearing sunglasses that are also crosses. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I love this. Dude, I'm excited for this movie immediately.
Oh yeah, this will probably be on the free YouTube in a matter of like months at this rate. I can't wait.
Maybe at launch. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know how I got here, but yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, Kevin Costner. That's right. How's your traveling? I know your suitcase broke.
It did. It was great except for that. Yeah. I don't know what the hell happened there at the end, but when I got my suitcase, I put it down on the ground and it just fell over and I was like, what the hell? So I looked at the bottom and it's like a 4-wheel suitcase. One of the wheels was clearly broken and the whole section of that suitcase was mashed in. Now this is a hard suitcase, so I don't know how they did it. I'm not sure what happened, but when I sort of punched it out to try and, make it normal again, it was all cracked and completely destroyed. They did something to it. But yeah, I reached out to their customer service people and they were like, sir, we hold no responsibility for damaged luggage. And I was like, cool, thanks. So I got to get a new suitcase. Right. Yeah, that was dumb. However, with that said, the rest of the trip was great. I went to Amsterdam first for a day to go see King's Day. Now, I've been told about King's Day for a while. My layover was in Amsterdam anyway, so it's like, I'll just spend the night there. King's Day is, as far as I'm aware, I'm sure it has some significance to them, but as far as I could tell, it was basically the way we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, except everyone was wearing orange when they got drunk. But it's the exact same thing. There was no difference. People were out on the street. They were drunk. Dudes were puking in the corner. There was people out till 4 a.m. just losing their minds. It was an all-day thing. There were people on the street trying to sell you stuff. There was guys drinking in the street. There were DJs setting up street like I don't even know, raves. Fascinating. Loved it. Huh. But I saw the best thing I've ever seen before. So this time I went with the sole purpose of, 1, finding the weird windmill bar that I went to years ago when I was there, pre-COVID days, and getting a drink there because I remember that being fun. But I also, as I've mentioned many times in the storytelling of my trip to Amsterdam, I was there 2 days last time, and I was so drunk and high, I was in bed by 9 a.m. every night.
Wait, 9 a.m.?
I could not make it. I could not function. I was like, yeah. So this time I was.
Just said.
What now?
You said 9 a.m.
Oh, I'm sorry. 9 p.m.
Like,
9 p.m. Sorry.
You're up all night till 9 a.m. You're like, I was in bed by 9 a.m.
No, I was in bed by 9 p.m.
Okay.
And so this time I went in with the idea of like, I'm going to be as sober as I possibly can. I want to experience the city. So I right away went to the windmill bar, much further than I remember it being. I was like, how did I walk home this drunk and high? Like, I must have a superpower where when I am drunk, I can walk anywhere. It reminds me of the time after PAX when I found that chicken restaurant, and upon further review, it was like 5-6 miles away from the convention center, and I was like, how did I get there and back? What was I doing? Same thing here. I don't know what happened. I got there, and I had a drink, and that was fun, but I also wanted to go check out the red light district. Never been. When I was there before, my hotel was right next to it, and I literally just didn't get there. So this time I was like, I want to go. I will say, I was there in the morning. Already, there are ladies in windows. There's like women trying to like lure men in. I was like, it is 11 a.m. I was like, all right, I guess. I thought this was a nighttime place. But I'm walking around. I'm looking at the different stuff there. It was all right. You know, it's a normal street. But I did see the greatest thing. And I keep thinking about this because I don't know how I'd react. But I saw 3 dudes. They were clearly drunk. And there was this woman in a one of the windows, and she's like in a bikini, and she's like, you know, sexy dancing. And these 3 guys walk up to the window, and they start like pawing at the window, and they're like, hey, you and me, let's go right now. And this woman does the sign to them, right? Yeah. And then closes the window on them. And I was like, hold up. Did she just reject these guys? First off, never in my life. Obviously, I've never dealt with prostitution before, so it never once crossed my mind that, yeah, of course a prostitute could be like, nah, I'm not into it. Yeah. And she did that to these guys. And the second thing that crossed my mind was, I don't know how I would emotionally recover from being rejected by a person that you would pay to have sex with.
Yeah, that's...
I would be devastated if I was like, hey, baby, here's some money, let's do it. And she was like, nah. I would be like, wait, isn't that your job? Like, did you just refuse
I'd rather be
service?
poor. Instead of sleep with you. God, you're ugly.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't believe it. I would be like, wow. So I keep thinking about that because these 3 guys, I didn't stick around because I was walking through, but I just saw that part happen and was like, God, I would be an emotional wreck. I don't know how I'd react. I'd be like, what? I'd go into one of the rivers and just let the tide take me out to sea. Like, I don't know what I would do at that point.
Why one of the rivers? You just like get hit by rocks and shit along the way.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's the point? Just, I'm right there in Amsterdam. You know, that water's got to go to the sea at some point, so I'll just let it take me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The water will take you, unlike the prostitute.
I just couldn't. It was so funny. I don't know if because it was 3 of them or because they were drunk. Like, I don't know what the deal was. And I guess it doesn't really matter. Just the concept. I never thought of it before. Now that's all I can think about is like, wow, those guys.
Yeah, that's... I don't really think of that either, but I guess it does make sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Like, if it's just like any business has the right to refuse service. Like, if your business is your body, then yeah, you would have the right to be like, nah, you're not the guy for me. But just absolutely never thought of it before. And so watching it happen and watching it be 3 guys who were very drunk and her just, it wasn't just she said no. She literally closed the curtain and the window on them. Like, the whole gimmick is if you are one of the ladies dancing in the window, you're trying to lure people in. She was like, not you though.
Yeah, she like shut it down.
Yeah. It just made me laugh really hard. I was like, damn, I never once considered any of this.
That is genuinely crazy.
Yeah. And then I jumped on a plane to Helsinki, and it was my favorite flight I've ever been on ever. You know how these days when you go on a plane and they do the safety announcement, it's always so damn long. It is like either a video where they try to be funny.
Like the Virgin one, yeah.
Yeah, or they, they try to like do little raps and things, like if you're on Southwest or whatever.
Yeah.
This flight to Helsinki, I don't know if it's a Finnish thing, but it took 45 seconds, and they were to the point. They were like, this is a seatbelt. It goes on like this. Wear it for safety. I was like, damn, okay. They were like, these are life preservers. You put them on if we hit the water. They go like this. It was not even, there was no
I like that.
flourish. I loved it. I was so happy.
It's like most people know what to do.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you have to tell them. And then I think here with all the like dancing and singing, it's just people trying to get a little showboaty with it. Like, we could have fun, you know, make people have fun putting on their seatbelt or whatever and be like, well, that was fun and whatever. But it's just like, just tell us what stuff does and how to do it and move on.
Absolutely. I think U.S. companies consistently learn the wrong lesson. And this is an example of that, where a lot of people don't pay attention to the safety announcements because they're just so long and it's stuff you know. So people try to make them fun and silly, and right, but that's not the way you should take it, because all it did was make them even longer. This flight literally was like, you know it, you don't want to hear this, let's get it over with real quick. And it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it's I wonder if that's only Finland or if all the like countries over there do that.
Like the Nordic countries, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's
I
a
don't know.
specific airline.
Yeah, I mean, when I flew with KLM, they didn't do it. They have an entire thing that's like little painted tiles that are stop motion animation, and it goes on for way too long. So they certainly don't have it, and they're Dutch. So it might be a Nordic thing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it does feel like they would be like, all right, do it and move on. Like, I don't know. Out of all the people, they feel like they'd be one of the top people who have no nonsense. Do your shit, move on.
Yeah, I will say, the best parts about Finland for me, and this is the most Crendor coded thing I'm ever gonna say. It was a beautiful place. The forests were gorgeous. Everything about, I will say, the forests also had a vibe of like, I understand why Remedy is headquartered there, because it definitely has a cult could operate here and kill people in the forest. That's how thick the forests are, and no one would know vibe. But the big takeaway is, from the minute you land to the minute you hit the hotel to when I was at the Remedy offices to all these different things, every person, every guy in Finland, lady in Finland, whoever in Finland was like, yo, have you tried the water? Everyone. And Crendor, I get it. From the tap, the water was like glacial cold. It tasted so good. It was the purest water I've ever had in my life, but it had like a flavor. I don't even know how to describe it, dude. It was, I know you like your Starbucks water times 1,000.
Damn.
It was, I did not drink a soda or anything. I was like, water, please, everywhere I went. Dude, crazy good.
It says Finland is renowned for its clean and high quality tap water, considered among the best in the world.
I'm telling you, dude.
It says it's due to their lakes, rivers, and groundwater sources.
There is a sign in the bathroom of the airport that says you can actually drink the tap water.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah. And when you go around, most of the places, if you go to like a 7-Eleven, or I don't know what they would call them there, but across from the hotel, there was a convenience mart. And at night, I'd be like, oh man, I want to get some, like maybe a bottle of water so I can put it by the side of my bed or something. That's not a thing. They have sparkling water. They have vitamin waters. They have sodas. You're not getting a lot of water options from like a bottle or a can. It's not happening. They're just like, go get it from the tap, dum-dum. And they were right. They were right.
Damn. That's... I don't even know. I wonder how America's water ranks in terms of like states.
One of the worst.
Well, I mean, obviously, but I mean, in terms
California,
of states.
I cannot stress this enough. I have had numerous people visit, and everyone's like, dude, the water smells. I'm like, yeah, no, you're right.
It's just like California.
Yeah. And I assume that's because we have to pipe in our water from like thousands of miles away.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. I always hear California. Well, specifically, I guess LA always being like, I gotta have tap water, or not tap, bottled water.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink the tap water here if you paid me. Like, I just don't. Yeah, I don't like it at all. It is an unpleasant, weird taste. And I'm probably sure there's a bunch of chemicals in there. I don't even know where the original source was. It's probably recycled water. Nah, I'm all right. I would say most water in the United States is bad. And I know there's going to be some guys like, that's because they put the fluoride in it. That's not the reason why. The reason why is because we don't take care of our infrastructure at all in this country. Be it bridges or roads or water pipes, whatever. It's all trash.
Apparently, the top 10 worst states with water issues are Arizona, New Mexico, Alabama, Oklahoma, Indiana, Nevada, Maryland, Wisconsin, Texas, and California.
That sounds right. I would imagine the Southwest for sure. And there were a lot of Southwest states in there. Just because it's desert. Like, you have to get the water from somewhere else, which means you have to send it through pipes, which means you have to take care of the pipes, and I promise you, no one's doing that.
Yeah. Like, here we got, like, the Great Lakes and shit, so that's, like, something. Although they're starting to get polluted, I guess.
But at least you have that fresh water source, and that, you know, there's something there. Plus, the further north you are in the United States, the more access you have to, like, Canadian groundwater, and I'm sure we have some sort of deal with Canada.
Yeah. Although, why's Wisconsin on that list then? You know what? It's probably got like bratwurst juice contamination or something.
I would imagine the same reason that Michigan has bad water. You know what I mean? Like the infrastructure is old. Yeah, it's just terrible, and that sucks. Sense. But I would love to know what the infrastructure situation is in Finland. Maybe. Because, like, I was talking with a bunch of people about the quality of life and you know, rent prices and stuff. Because everyone's always, when I say I'm from LA, everyone's always curious about living here and how expensive it is. And I was talking with people in Finland, and they were saying, oh, yeah, no, you can get an apartment in downtown Helsinki for like $1,500 a month. And I was like, damn, that in like the heart of the capital? And they're like, yeah. Apparently, though, the idea is that is still a lot of money, because the average pay is like $40,000 a year.
Oh,
so, and I think it's because a lot of the money goes to the government and taxes and stuff. But I think those taxes and stuff go to make sure everything is up to code and up to par.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I know that like individual wealth, you know, I make $40,000 a year, but if I'm paying $1,500 a month in rent, that's a lot, actually.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Huh. What did you learn about Finland on top of all that? Was it just like, have you been to Finland before?
Never. No. I did learn no other, like Norway, Sweden, they can kind of understand each other's languages. No one understands Finnish. No one. Dude, one of the radio stations, it started with a T and an L, and I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Like tla.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I know it doesn't sound like that, because it's gonna sound like something else. Right. And I think someone said it to me, and I was like, what? But yeah, it started, I think it was a T and an L, and I was like, how? Tla? I was like, how do you say that? And like, no, that's not how you say that. But I will say, it has so many English-speaking people. Like, most people spoke English, and I think that's because probably Finnish is a monster to learn. And then, I mean, you would think it'd be huge, but it's not a really big, like, Helsinki's not a huge city, and it's surrounded by a bunch of water and little islands. I know they have their zoo on an island, which is kind of cool, because it's like Jurassic Park a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But for the most part, it's just kind of like a basic city. I went one night, I got ramen. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just felt like a normal city. There wasn't anything like crazy. Oh, this seems like Finland. The one thing I did like, and I know Norway does this too, I'm not sure about Sweden, but I guess high school, I think it's high school kids, every year on May 1st, dress up in colored tracksuits, jumpsuits, whatever it is, and they go around and celebrate, I guess, graduating, I think, and they get drunk and collect patches and go to different places. They get different bands for doing different things, which I imagine, if you're in high school, probably most of them are sexual. I don't know. That seems accurate to me. And we saw a bunch of them just roaming the streets, like packs of drunk teens. I was like, oh, all right. I guess this is a thing.
That's I forget. You can like drink at 18 over there, right?
I think so. I'm not
maybe
exactly sure.
Maybe it's even 16. I don't even know.
I did see, though, one night we were coming home because I hung out with some of the Remedy guys and we went to a bar. And while I was walking back to my hotel, I passed this huge group of like 30 or 40 kids outside of a nightclub. But the nightclub seemed American themed, and I never wanted to go into a place more in my life. I wanted to know what was going on there. But everyone seemed young. And I've never felt so old. I was like, nah, no, I'm all right. And then, yeah, it was pretty much an in and out trip. I went there, I landed, like I spent a day in Amsterdam, then flew to Helsinki, and then, flew back to Amsterdam, stayed there the night, and then flew back in the morning.
Wait, how long were you there?
I left last Friday, and I came back I was back in LA Thursday morning.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
No, I mean, I didn't have any like weird jet lag or anything. I do now. Now I do. I woke up today exhausted, and I've been trying to be really good about sleeping and getting reacclimated to LA. But man, I don't know. I think because I didn't stare at a computer screen I didn't bring a laptop or anything. So when I got back here, looking at a computer screen made my eyes hurt. And I was like, oh. So then my eyes were all red. And then I was like, what if I just take a nap? And then I took a nap, and that was a mistake. So I'm just a complete mess. I'm totally out of whack.
That's actually, I wonder if your body just adapts to like all the screens and shit after a while. Then when you leave it, it's just like, oh my God, real light and nature. And then you go back and it's just like, blah, blinded.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happened to me is when I was recording Geek Engines with Dodger, I was like, guys, I must apologize to everyone. These lights, this screen, this is the first time I've looked at a computer screen in days, and I'm dying over here. I was like, this sucks. It is an unpleasant experience if you don't have that daily computer screen thing. I get it. Mm-hmm. I understand why people's eyes go crazy looking at computer screens.
Yeah. No, I have a lot of my brightness on my monitors set like all the way down or like pretty low. Or I have F-Lux.
That's smart, yeah.
I don't know how people do it. It's like if my F-Lux accidentally, like sometimes it'll glitch out and then it takes like a second to go back to normal at night. It'll like go full bright mode and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, how does anyone not use F-Lux or any of those programs?
Yeah, I had something, it was like something. I can't remember what it was. But I had that on my computer for a while until they were like, it's no longer free, you have to pay. And I was like, no, I'm all right. So I just went into the Windows settings and turned things down. But yeah, it's atrocious. And I don't know how I spent all those years staring at a non-edited, I guess is the right way to say it, computer screen.
Yeah.
Or adjusted.
I think getting older just makes you realize how much you need those types of things where it's like, oh man, I need a standing desk so I can sit and stand so I'm not in one position. I need the F-Lux and the things so I'm not getting my eyes really. But when you're younger, you're like, whatever, you sit like a crab and get your eyes blasted by blue light.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I think it's just part of getting older. You get more discomforts and pains and you get more realization of those pains and stuff because they actually start bothering you more. Which, by the way, I started using my standing desk more.
I did see that. I did see that you were, I think it was during a stream, you switched it up during the stream, and I was like, that's pretty neat. My biggest concern is cables. In order to like really truly use my sit-stand desk that I'm literally on right now, every time I use it to stand, every cable is like at the extent of which it can be. And I'm like, hang in there, computer. It terrifies me. So I feel like to really appreciate it, I have to get some special cables that, when I'm standing can extend, but when I'm sitting aren't just drooping to the floor and wrapping around my legs as I sit.
Yeah.
That's the big problem for me.
That is part of it. You do need the cable management. A lot of my cables are like pretty good. Some do kind of droop when they're all the way down. Some are a little stretched when they're all the way up, but like I'm also shorter. So it's not as bad. You probably have to raise the desk a bit higher, and then sometimes those cables start being like, like about to pop. You're like,
every time I raise my desk, my webcam falls off the top of my monitor.
Yeah.
Which means I probably should put it on something Like, I probably should get an actual camera.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people do that, but I don't know how to do it.
Put like light or something behind it. Yeah, I have the ability to. We have cameras in the office, and I could definitely just take one of those. But something about just, the webcam's already hooked up, so I don't have to turn on the camera and, make sure that's plugged in and make sure there's a save card or something in there so it doesn't. It's just a lot of work. And I'm like, I'm only doing this for a few hours. It's not like I'm doing an everyday vlog thing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people, they vlog or even they stream like full screen 4K or like they do all that. And I'm like, nobody cares about seeing me in 4K, dude.
Yeah, especially from a box in the corner of the screen. It doesn't matter that much.
I'll go like full screen sometimes. People are like, Crendor, you're a little scrunchy in there. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit. Like, whatever. I'm not doing this all the time. I
will say, I've had some interesting conversations with YouTube lately about the best practices of, modern YouTube. And one of the things they're really pushing is 4K videos. Which, to anyone who's used any render software to make videos, is a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It is not fun to render in 4K and then upload in 4K. With that said, though, I guess the reason why is because more and more people are watching YouTube content on TV. And 1080p on TVs, especially YouTube's whatever processing they have there, it kind of degrades the quality a little bit. And it's very noticeable. If, like, you watch a 1080p, a great example is I've been watching, I like how every episode that we do of this comes back to me watching Hell's Kitchen. But
or some Gordon Ramsay equivalent.
Yeah, I'm on season 10 right now. I'm slowly making I'm gonna finish it, and then I'll never have anything else to watch, Gordon Ramsay wise. But yeah, I will turn it on the TV sometimes if I'm like doing something in my living room, and absolutely, the quality from my computer and my phone, which it's 1080p, and I'm like, oh, okay, is not the same on the TV. It says it's 1080p, but it looks blurry as hell. So I think the idea of them saying make it 4K is so that it's more and more TV compatible. And I was like, who is watching TV with YouTube? And then I went and looked at the analytics, and dear God, it's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I'll watch YouTube on TV sometimes. I mean, it's just convenient because everybody's got one of those. You either got like a Apple TV, a Roku, your TV's a smart TV. Like they can all access YouTube, and so you just go there and you go, well, put something on YouTube. Like even my parents will be like, I want to put on ambient noise with YouTube, and they like put on some, I don't know, AI fireplace or some shit that they don't even know is AI. They're just like, that's a nice scene. I'm like, okay, the coffee table's got like 20 legs or some shit. They don't know.
It's just weird AI. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, that light's a little warped. That's kind of odd. But yeah, a lot of people I think do it. The thing is, like, I guess it depends what you're doing. Like if I'm doing WoW pointless top 10, I don't think I gotta do that in 4K. Like maybe,
yeah, I mean,
but
I would think not. But yeah, we've tested a few things and put stuff out in 4K to see if it's worth doing. It's a hassle for sure. It definitely is one of those you have to upload it the night before because it takes hours for it to process.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully people appreciate it. We're just testing right now to see if it's worth it. But YouTube insists it is. And I wonder if it might actually be better to do, like the YouTube thing where YouTube says, you should do this. I wonder if maybe that's the YouTube, we are promoting this, and if you do this, the algorithm will pick you up more. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No one gives you answers, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's maybe, although if anything, it's probably just somebody might watch the video more if it's 4K, and then that would make more people watch it, which would bump the algorithm. That's what I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe. I have no answers for you, but that's just kind of the vibe of what's going on with YouTube stuff. But you're absolutely right. You and I, when I was over at your place, we watched YouTube on TV.
Yeah, it's just convenient. It's easy. I don't know, and it's like anything else, except you, instead of clicking a mouse to click a video and watching it on the monitor, you're just using your remote to do it.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Twitch, not the same. There will be times where I will be sitting on my couch watching TV and be like, I wonder what's on Twitch, and I'll turn on the Twitch app on my TV. It is not intuitive at all.
Oh, it sucks. Just like their phone app.
It's also like 2 or 3. I'm not gonna say minutes. Let's say a minute behind. There's definitely a delay. It's noticeable, and so. Because I don't want to try and chat on my TV, which would be insane, I'll pull up my phone and go to the chat, and the chat's just not. If I say, hey, Crendor, it could be 5 minutes before I see a response from you on my TV.
Yeah. Now, Twitch, for some reason, Twitch is just the worst at designing their apps. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they're so bad at it. They just hire somebody that knows what they're doing. I feel like it's not that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sure, there's a lot of politicking in it now because Amazon's involved, and I'm sure they have a lot of, like, Amazon ideas and big corporate things they have to do. I wonder what it would have been like before they were bought, but I feel like they had to be bought in order to keep going because as far as I'm aware, Twitch is a constant money loser.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of these things are. Like, when you look up, you're like, oh, I'm sure this company makes money. Like, most of them are just losing money because it costs so much to manage everything.
Yeah, and then they just get bought up by, like, a big corporation and then is like, cut the costs, fire everyone.
Yep. The classic. I mean, you would think Amazon would know how to make an app, though, or at least tell Twitch how to make an app. Maybe they don't. Maybe they are dumb.
Yeah, they had the opportunity to make a great app, and they were like, what can we take from TikTok?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, make your own damn thing.
You know, they just sat in a room, they're just like, you know what? What's popular out there? And they're like, TikTok. We'll make it like TikTok. And everyone's like, hey, good idea.
That's pretty much what YouTube does.
Yeah. YouTube, at least, is better at it than them. Like, even now, Amazon's more like audiobooks and books, even though they are like, and they're where you buy your just like random shit. Like, you need a ceiling fan, or not sealed, but like a fan you can put down on the floor. You'd probably still go to like Home Depot or something for a ceiling fan. Or some store. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very fortunate there's literally a Home Depot right near me and I can get all sorts of crazy stuff. So yeah. I like that. I don't want to have to order it. I need to see what it looks like before, as much as I trust your image, I don't want to just get a thing from Temu out of nowhere.
Yeah. That's like half of TikTok shops. I hate TikTok shop. They do that shit.
Yeah. I got suckered in. I saw a hat. And I was like, oh, I love that hat. It's so good. When it arrived, it was the worst constructed hat I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. I gave it to one of the guys at the office. I was like, I don't even want to look at this again. I hate this. Like, it was bad. I don't know who assembled it or what country it was made in, but it was trash quality.
You're like the red light district seeing those people out the window. You're like, you closed the blinds on that hat.
I was like, yeah, it arrived and I was so excited. I opened the package and it was like, the brim, the bill of your hat, how it has to have some sort of like, it has to be hard, right? This thing, I don't think they put anything. It was like, dude, it felt like there was paper in it. It was bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So definitely lesson immediately learned.
Yeah. The thing is, like, do you think rich people buy shit on TikTok shop or any of these things?
No,
I guarantee they don't.
Yeah, of course not. They go
like
to
they go to like these fancy places.
Yeah, I see advertisements all the time. If you drive through Santa Monica, there'll be advertisements for places like Belushi's. And then it's just like dudes in sweater vests. And it's like, I wonder what that place is like. If you look it up online, it's like a t-shirt is $1,800. And you're like, that's where the rich shop.
Yep. That's where all the big streamers shop.
What's crazy is you definitely see the people online now in China with all the tariff stuff being like, actually, all that clothes is made at the same place and you just pay for the brand name and you can get it for $18. And like, yeah, I think everyone knew that. But also, I don't think if you're that rich, you care.
No, they don't have to care. Like, the money's the last problem they got. They can do whatever they want.
So getting an $1,800 shirt or whatever to a lot of people is the wrong word, to a very few select billionaires. They don't care. Yeah, they're like, yeah, I have my expensive shirt on because it means I'm better than you. Yeah.
That's why I always hate when there's the Twitch streamers and stuff that pretend like they're poor. And then they'll be like, guys, we just keep getting some subs here. And they're like getting subs from people that are like actually, struggling to make a living, being like, I like this streamer. And then they leak their earnings. They're making like $300,000 in a month. Like, okay.
Like if there's a streamer who has, if they're like rocking 3,000 to 4,000 people every stream, and they're streaming every day, and all 4,000 are subscribed ish, they're doing gangbusters. Those are the people that are making money.
Yeah, because then they're making money off literally that and YouTube. They're putting all their shit up on YouTube. They're putting
They
clips
got the
up.
ads going. Yeah, those are
ads.
like.
They got sponsors.
So when you
they
see
got
people,
merch.
when you see people who have like 20,000 viewers asking, like, guys, remember to sub. It's like, you're doing all right.
Yeah, they're probably a millionaire if they're over 20,000 at that point.
For sure. There's a lot of people who are millionaires on Twitch, brand deal wise, that have 10,000 people watching.
Oh yeah.
Just because those numbers, a company would be like, we'll pay you so much money.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if they want to pay us instead, that would be fine. My benefit is that I get to do this for a living and live like a retired person. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't get any other benefits. I can't actually retire. I don't get health insurance. I don't get anything. I don't make enough to buy $1,800 shirts. But you know what? I can live like a retired old man while playing Pokemon. And that's like good enough for me.
You have the same attitude as like Aristotle. You are a guy, I think you would be a great ancient Greek.
I think so.
Where you would just be like, life is for the living, and I shall go and be a scholar, and my scholarly pursuits will be Pokemon.
And making top 10 lists on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big takeaway should be it streaming like Crendor, or, if you want to be a baker or a accountant or whatever, if it's something you love, then it makes everything else so much easier.
Yeah. I think that's also what a lot of people do is a lot of people work and then they retire and then they do what they love because then they have enough money to do it, right?
Right.
Like,
Which
there's
I
always
think,
the guy who's like...
that is a strategy. Like, it is a strategy, but I think most people, the way to really live life, since most of your life you won't be retired, is to find a job you love. And I understand it's hard because, money, but
yeah,
that is the secret.
Yeah. It's difficult. Honestly, we just got lucky. Like, there's no...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. We just got extremely lucky. So that's kind of the thing I'm grateful for. It's like, you know what? I'm not rich, but I'm lucky. Well, sometimes I'm lucky. It depends what we're talking about luck-wise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, job-wise, I guess.
Yeah. No. Which, by the way, while living my old man life, we went out to walk, and we were walking around the track because it's nice out. So we went to like a park with a track. We were just walking around it, and we would walk by people because everyone was walking around. And so we had the thing where you always walk past somebody and you just hear the little like blurps of their conversation. So they're walking. These two old people go, "We're living it. You better believe it. We're living it." And then they kept laughing. And I was like, dude, I want to know what they're living.
Dude, they're living it.
Yeah, they just kept being like, "We're living it. You better believe it." And I was like, "But what are they living? Are they living it? Maybe they retired. They opened up a bakery or something they wanted to do."
I'd like to imagine that they only said that when they walked past you.
That would be funny. Oh my god, that would be. Can you imagine like if we did an entire thing where we just walk past people just in public and just start random conversation tidbits, don't matter. Just be like,
yeah,
I told him if he was gonna shit himself, do it in the forest.
And then just walk by.
Yeah, you just keep walking.
And then the next time you walk by, it's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, you're just like, I told him you don't want to eat that. It's plastic. Just like keep making shit up.
Right. Next time we go around, just be like, I told him, you gotta put it on backwards. He wouldn't do it. They'll be like, what do you mean? What do you mean put it on backwards?
I told him that as well.
Yeah. I would love to do that. Although I am curious. What do you and Toast talk about when you go on walks?
What do we talk about? We just kind of talk about whatever. I'll talk about we talked about last time. Let's talk about what we're doing. Talk about work stuff. Talk about family stuff. Talk like just whatever's on your mind.
Okay.
Because walking just gets everything off your mind. That's the main thing.
Sure. Every time I walk, there's only two modes I have, and I'm not a good walker. Either I hum a little song to myself, or I'm completely silent.
Yeah. Honestly.
Even when I'm walking with people, like I guess we can have a conversation, but I never do. I just look at stuff. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think if I walk alone, I'm more like that. If I walk with somebody else, usually I'm either talking.
I mean, I hope when you walk alone, you aren't just talking to yourself.
That's what I should. Although I will say, there's another girl. She was walking, but she was on the phone, and so she's just walking around. She walked past us once, and she sounded like she was talking a different language, and we were like, "Oh, okay." But then the next time we walked past, she was talking English, and she went, "I said this isn't ringworm. This is psoriasis." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
What?
Yeah, that's all I heard. She was like yelling it on the phone, and I was like, maybe earlier she was doing like her language lessons or something, or like talking to somebody else, and now she's talking to a different person, and that's what she yelled. And I was like, I guess it wasn't ringworm. Psoriasis.
Part of me feels like she's on the phone with her mom. Something about that entire thing seems conversation with mom.
Yeah, because that's like, especially if you're like, they grow up with a different language and your parents more like that, you probably alternate between the two, like English and that language. So that would make sense.
Plus, that's definitely who would shout, it's not ringworm, it's psoriasis too.
Yeah.
Who else are you going to have that conversation with?
That's true. You're not going to have it many people. And then the only other person, I think it was on a completely different day. It was these two guys in their like 50s. And he was like, dude, it's so nice to get walking. So nice to get walking. And they're just like walking, yelling. And he's like, the other day, oh man, I had that thing, I was shitting myself. And then he's like, no, I'm getting the juices moving. You got to get your juices moving.
So this guy's recovering from a whole day of shitting himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm back, baby. I'm going to go for a walk. No shit's here.
He's walking fast, too. They were really getting those juices moving.
You know, because he had to. The man told you. Got to get the juices moving.
Got to get them moving. So that was fun. A lot of fun walking. That was honestly, that was mainly my fun parts of my week.
I love the fun parts of your week was I went to the track and walked.
Yeah, it's I did see a lot of people being like, you and Dodger need to do the boring podcast.
That's true. That's I hit her up with the idea that you two should do a home ownership podcast.
Yeah.
Where you just boringly talk about the ins and outs of like, well, today had to mow the lawn. Didn't like that. You know, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, I would even take it a step further. I would do literally anything boring. Just anything that nobody on a normal show wants to talk about. Just
I
like
don't
the
think
most
Dodger
mundane
can keep
things.
up with that.
I don't know. I think she could.
She's too hyped for that kind of stuff.
I don't know. It depends.
Oh, unless she was really excited about things that were very boring.
Exactly. That's the point.
Oh,
like
okay.
how
All
Dodger, like she'd get really excited about knitting or something, right? Just be like, yeah, we'd have a whole thing on knitting, or like just how it's like kind of like how it's made. You're talking about like washers and dryers. You're like, how's your washer and dryer experience? Which I guess kind of stems into home ownership.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So we'll see. Maybe that way.
The dangerous thing is that you're slowly creeping into the territory of this podcast.
Well, like Geekenders already kind of blends in. But then, once I do a podcast with her, then we form the trifecta, right? Then it just kind of all intertwines. In a way.
I mean, that was the point. I think that was the whole point of our... Like, we create some sort of weird, intertwined, connected universe. Our own MCU, if you will.
Yeah. We're creating our own Marvel universe.
Yeah. The Crendor cinematic universe.
Yeah. It's... Cause I do think that'd be fun. I just know that we're going to just be like, and how are your farm animals doing? And then she'll just get a moment of trying to be really ASMR and just be like, like
Yeah.
wake everyone up.
That's what I'm saying. She couldn't... I don't think she could do ASMR.
Yeah. But I mean, it's fine. Who cares? Well, it's our own form of ASMR. Right? Well,
Cren SMR.
Yeah. Cren Dodger Samar.
Cren Dodger Samar sucks.
That just sounds like somebody's name.
Yeah, that sucks.
Cren Dodger Samar. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe. We'll see if it happens. It might. I'd honestly flip a coin. 50-50. It might happen, it might not. We'll see.
I don't like those odds. That means it may actually happen.
We'll see. The universe may will it into existence.
It may. It may.
It may. It's gonna be May.
It is
like
right
it
now.
Currently is. And you know what else is right now?
Dads, they teach us a lot. Moms do too. And Mother's Day is coming up. That is a fact. But dads out there, Father's Day will be around the corner. And now is the best time to start planning. This Father's Day, let's show dads out there what they really, really deserve. And that is some peace and quiet. Or some dope-ass music, whatever the case may be. Because this Father's Day, get your dad a pair of everyday earbuds by Raycon. Because he deserves to relax, recharge, and enjoy his favorite music or podcasts. Or just, nature sounds, whatever you want to put on with crystal clear audio. Raycon's everyday buds are the perfect gift for your dad or your mom. But, if you're ordering now, it's probably a little too late for mom. Whether your dad goes to the gym, lifts, or, runs or whatever, or he's busy with those endless work calls or jamming out to his favorite tunes that drive your mom mad, give your dad a premium audio experience that goes where he does. Raycon's latest model is better than ever with 32 hours of battery life and multi-point connectivity. Lets them pair with 2 devices at the same time. Dad can finally say goodbye to that tangled old pair of wired headbuds and start enjoying Raycon with its quick charge function. And just 10 minutes, you get 90 minutes of battery. These earbuds also come with active noise cancellation. So honestly, man doesn't even need to put anything on. He can just put them on his ears and drown out the world. The good news is Raycon starts at just half the price of other premium audio brands. Raycon's everyday earbuds come in a spectrum of vibrant colors. They have so many colors. There's a Jolly Rancher-esh pink and green one, purple, yellow. They got all sorts of different colors, and they're awesome. The best part, like I said, and I think this is one of my favorite parts, is, again, I love the active noise cancellation. It's very nice just to kind of drown out the world, especially if you're on a plane, for example, and you're flying overseas like I was, and you don't want to hear the of the engine the entire time. Love that kind of stuff. It helps me sleep on planes. I cannot stress that enough. Plus, it'll help Dad say, hide out in the bathroom and read the newspaper, and he can put on those earbuds and listen to that podcast or, the sports call-in show, whatever the case may be. It's a pretty good time. And if your dad doesn't like his Raycons, they offer a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy with no questions asked. So go to buyraycon.com/Cox to get 15% off site-wide. Right now, Raycon is offering up to that 15% site-wide. So when you go over to buyraycon.com/Cox, remember, buyraycon.com/Cox. All right, let's go to Chopper's Got 7 guys with Crendor. How's that traffic out there?
Oh god, let me look. Yep, there's traffic. Oh man. I'm gonna use this time to actually mention a Nick Cage news article I found when I thought I was going to mention it earlier and I forgot. He almost died filming the movie Surf. He said, quote, "I just got pounded and literally got stuck in the riptide. They said they saw my board. They call it tombstone, like that triangle top. I'm climbing up the leash as somersaulting and I could have died. Now I have a young kid. I don't know if I want to do it anymore." However, Cage isn't giving up on surfing dream. He added, "The goal is to retire, surf, drink red wine, and eat spaghetti." Back to you.
That is the best thing I've ever heard. Not the near-death thing, but the retiring, eat spaghetti, drink wine, Nick Cage. I like that guy.
Yeah, he just wants to surf, drink red wine, and eat spaghetti. Nick Cage.
Also, I will say, I forgot that he had a kid, and I forgot that it's like, I think his wife is very young.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think, you know what? It's Nick Cage. I don't care. I'll be honest. I expect it from Nick Cage.
Yeah. She's, hold on. She is 30. He is 61.
You know what? Not as bad as, what's his face? Belichick.
Oh, yeah, Belichick. I thought you were saying
Leonardo DiCaprio. He's not as bad as Nick Cage. There's gradients. Leonardo DiCaprio, he has a weird, like, I don't want anyone older than 26 thing going on, and that's on him.
Yep.
Belichick, on the other hand, I don't know what the hell. That man's 70-something. He's dating a 24-year-old. They met when she was 20. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that is a very weird thing.
Yeah, it's like you couldn't find like at least a 30-year-old, my dude. You would, all right, whatever.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a bit very weird. Not a bit weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, I keep thinking like, what do y'all talk about? And I imagine, you know what? Who am I kidding? They're not having conversations. He's just happy that like some woman wants to see his wiener, and she's like, I got money now. That's it. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Even I think you solved it.
Yeah. They definitely don't have conversations. What the hell am I dumb? Trying to rationalize it like that's not what's going on.
And that's the traffic.
All right. Let's go to weather.
Weather. We've got a weather request for. We got quite a few weather requests here. We are cycling through the weather requests. We have landed on Blowing Rock, North Carolina, small town in the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina. I worked at a local pub in the middle of the town for 6 hours and quit mid-shift due to a number of things, most notably being touched on the shoulder by the building's resident ghost, Charlie, who lived in the wine cellar.
Dude, be honest, I did not think that's where that was going.
What? Classic resident ghost.
Yeah, is it Timberlake's Pub? What is the name of this? I gotta know the name of this pub.
Yeah, it is. What is the local pub? Yeah, I don't know. They just said local pub. So yeah, let us know what the pub's name is. Blowing Rock, North Carolina. It is currently 40. Oh, no, it's gonna be 40. 50 degrees, feels like 47. Humidity 77%, pressure 29.87 inches, visibility 10 miles. 6:30 a.m. sunrise, 8:16 p.m. sunset. Winds at 7 miles an hour. Dew point 43, UV index 0 with a first quarter moon. The 10-day. It is going to be 59 Monday, Tuesday 64, mostly sunny. Wednesday 67, mostly cloudy. Thursday 69, nice. Partly cloudy. Friday, 66, partly cloudy. Saturday, 63, partly cloudy. Sunday, 64, partly cloudy. And Monday, 66 with some PM showers.
I don't know what I expected. Told it was right near Appalachia, but like some of the restaurants here look absolutely phenomenal. Sure, they have the Outbacks and the other things, but they have like a barbecue place that looks like a good-ass barbecue place. They have a Mexican restaurant that looks like not crap. Although it does have hilariously a drink that you drink out of a woman's torso, which is a whole thing I've never seen before, but that's there.
What?
Mexican rock restaurant. You can see that thing. They have a pizza place that looks pretty good. More importantly, they have a fine dining restaurant that actually looks like very awesome. For some reason, I thought this would be kind of like I don't know, just a bunch of McDonald's and stuff.
Yeah, no, this place looks pretty good.
Yeah, they have a seafood restaurant that looks really good. They have a breakfast place that I'm like, okay. However, never mind. All of that is completely changed by the fact that they have a restaurant. Where did it go? Where's Rollin'?
What?
Where'd my egg rollin'? There's a place called Egg Rollin', and it literally is only things served in egg rolls.
What?
It is you can get mac and cheese egg rolls, pizza egg rolls, Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, traditional egg rolls, buffalo chicken egg rolls, Cuban egg rolls, Reuben rolls, barbecue and slaw rolls. There's specialty rolls, dessert rolls. Crazy.
That's dude. I would eat a crazy egg roll.
Yeah, I'm looking. You can get combos of different egg rolls, and they have dipping sauces. I mean,
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's wild looking, but I'd give it a go.
There's a place called Say Cheese, and they just serve a bunch of grilled cheese with tomato soup.
Honestly, that's a win. I feel like you could do it at home, but
yeah,
it's a win.
That's like the only thing they serve, though. They just got like 15 types of grilled cheese, and you get your tomato soup, and that's all they got.
I gotta know where this dude worked at, or whoever the person was because there's a few pubs I see, and I wonder which one it was. Was it Timberlake's? Was it the Town Tavern or Sixpence Pub?
Yeah, there's...
What is Hellbender Bed and Beverage?
What?
Yo, it is literally some dude's home.
What?
It is a home, it is a house, but also a bar, but also a bed and breakfast.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yo, I love this. I don't know the legality of it, but everything there looks delicious. Plus, it's just you can sleep there.
That actually does look really good. Wow.
I kind of dig that.
Yeah, there's I feel like there's a bunch of these.
I would imagine so. It's got that Carolina / you're right on the edge of some mountains if you're like a hiker or a tourist.
Yeah,
Plus the
like
biscuits.
Really good views.
The biscuits look good. Although it is the South, so I expect good biscuits.
Yeah, you gotta have them.
Yeah, if you got trash biscuits in the South, they'll kick you out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the Mexican rock restaurant. That's what you're talking about.
If you click the images, you'll see the torso lady.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I don't know what that drink is, but it's served in a torso.
It's just legs, skirt, belly button.
That's it.
That's it.
Not even legs, like thighs.
Yeah, thighs. Let's see.
It looks like when you're doing one of those shooter games and you blow a guy up and he like ragdolls, but it's just the middle half of him because the arms are programmed to blow off. That's what it looks like.
It does. The Pedal and Pig Barbecue. Oh yeah, that looks good.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of places that look really, really good. There are not a lot of, like I said, there's an Outback. I think I saw a Subway, but there are not a lot of fast food places I could see.
Yeah, I see Subway. There's not many.
I think that's honestly, we need more of that. We could all use a little bit more of that.
Yes, 100%. Oh yeah, I found egg rolling. Those look amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be one of those things that I wouldn't go to often because it seems like a lot of grease. But like, I conceptually could handle some like buffalo chicken egg rolls or things like that.
Yeah. No, that's definitely the type of place you go every like once in a while. Just be like, I just want to try a fun little egg roll.
Yeah.
That's the weather.
All right, let's go to sports.
Sports. Okay, it's a sports time. Bap, bap, bap. Currently, it's halftime at the Warriors-Rockets game. Warriors up 51-39 in Game 7. Heyo. The Pacers take Game 1 of their series against Cleveland in the NBA playoffs. And then St. Louis-Winnipeg tied in Game 7 in hockey. Oh, boy. That'll end in somebody being very sad. Stars. The Dallas Stars win the series over the Avalanche 4-3. Golden Knights win their series over the Wild 4-2. Oilers beat the Kings 4-2. Toronto moves on over the Senators 4-2. Panthers over the Lightning 4-1. Washington beats the Canadiens 4-1. And Carolina beats the Devils 4-1. In the NBA playoff bracket, we got the Thunder and the Nuggets advancing to play each other. And then the Timberwolves take down the Lakers, and they will play the winner of the Rockets Warriors. And then I just mentioned Cavaliers Pacers. And then we got Knicks Celtics. That's a good one in the other part there. So, pretty good playoff series we got all around. Then baseball. Playoffs. We got the Yankees in first, the Tigers in first, the Mariners in first, the Mets in first, the Cubs in first, and the Dodgers in first. And that is sports.
Okay. What is our fact of the day?
Fact of the day. Platypuses sweat milk.
I have no comment on that fact, but the way you said it was hilarious.
It's a matter of fact.
I didn't know you were going to start with the word platypus, so that was great. And then when you said sweat, I was like, where are we going? And you said milk, and we got there, and I was like, you know what? Never heard that before.
Yeah, 3 words. That's all you need to hear.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes that's really it. The 3 words you've been waiting for to hear from someone. Platypus sweat milk.
This is because it doesn't have a teat. Milk appears as sweat on a platypus, but it's an aquatic mammal, so it doesn't actually sweat at all. So they actually feed their babies by just sweating milk, and then the babies like lick it up off
their bodies?
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's weird.
Yo, this is actually crazy. It says, since the delivery system is less hygienic than direct nipple-in-mouth method, platypus milk contains a powerful antibacterial protein to protect the babies from illness. These proteins may be a useful source of future antibiotics. That's pretty cool.
Those little bastards. Platypi, I guess. Yeah, they're fascinating. They're so weird.
There's so many cool animals got stuff like it. It's like how sharks just don't get cancer. They just like always regenerate and shit.
Yeah.
Animals got some crazy stuff. That's your fact of the day.
All right. Who has come to us with tears in their eyes in need of help?
Dear illustrious sir, with tears in my eye. They said sir. It's only one of us.
That's probably true. You're a much better gentleman than me. Yeah.
Thank you. I come before you with heavy arms and weak knees to ask of you, with the rise of fitness influencers and YouTube ads promoting pseudoscience health advice, when will we get the Crendor's Way of Healthy Living book? I'm not sure when, but it will happen at some point.
I think you should.
That's a proven.
I genuinely think you should, and I want the cover to be getting fit with Crendor, but you're dressed up like oh my God, was it Richard Simmons?
Oh yeah, Richard Simmons.
I want you dressed up in like the tight outfit with the the underwear on the outside, lifting a very small weight on the cover.
Yeah.
Getting fit with Crendor.
Dancing to random 80s beats.
Yeah. I would love that.
That would be pretty great. Yeah, and then I could just and I feel those books are always written like a high school essay where they have a lot of filler words and just stuff that doesn't make sense. They'll just be like, one day I was out walking down the street when I decided everybody's been eating oranges for a while. I should harness the power of oranges, and so I did. And they'll just say shit like that, and you're just like, what? Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, there has to be some pseudo-science history lesson involved where it's like, cavemen didn't have access to the things we have access to today. That means cavemen are better than us. What did they have? Caves. That's why I formed the new Crendor cave system. Spend up to 20 hours a day inside a cave. It will increase your life expectancy and garner the ancient power of the caveman.
Caves emit a natural chemical.
The sonic vibrations of echoing your voice through a cave reverberate back in your body and feed you the nutrients you need to live.
That way, when you feel the vibrations, it sets the tones of your energy in line. Most people like to cook in kitchens, but we were meant to cook in caves.
Yeah.
That way, when we cook inside a cave and eat an orange inside a cave, the energies of the orange are unleashed at a magnitude much higher than if we were in a standard American suburban kitchen.
Exactly. When you're in a cave and you shout, it echoes, it reverberates. That's your voice extending beyond its mortal limits. With an orange in a cave, you are getting the exact same nutrient levels as your voice echoing off those walls.
That's why, with all the money I've generated from you, the listener, I have built a cave inside my house. The first of its kind.
Now, you can do this with your basement. However, you will only get a fraction of the nutrients that I get in my cave.
You can go a step further. I've hired divers to go into the ocean and bring coral up from beneath so that I can place it on the walls, attach it as if I'm in an underground lair.
I've also bought a desk and have hired henchmen. And my cave is in a volcano. Now, I may be planning to take over the world, but that's James Bond's problem, not yours.
So please, buy my book. Act now.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just do a bunch of YouTube videos in your cave, walking around, TikToks.
Yeah, holding a book.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, always holding a book.
Always.
There's no instance where you're not holding that book.
Yeah, then you'd be like, I'm always learning. Every day. Constantly. But the book is like a best of Garfield.
Honestly, that's the best kind of learning.
How's that crazy cat get up to it?
Dear illustrious sirs, with tears in my eyes and candy in my nose, I ask you, what is your current estimate for the future of MMOs? What are some of your favorite features from current MMOs that you strongly feel should become the norm going forward? And what old school features should make a comeback?
I don't think we're going to get a lot of new MMOs.
Yeah,
Unless there's like a huge paradigm shift in what an MMO is. Right now, I feel like we're pretty tapped out on the idea of spending a lot of time playing a video game online that requires you to keep doing it.
Yeah. If anything, we're seeing a shift towards more casual style MMO playing. Like, for example, WoW did Delves. So it's like, you could just do a dungeon by yourself and with Bran, and then you just don't have to deal with people, and you can go do something else and come back, and it's still there. And everyone's like, this is pretty cool. In fact, that's like half the time I play WoW, like for gear and stuff, I just do Delves. Because it's like, this is cool. I don't have to deal with anyone. And I can like take my time, do whatever.
Yeah.
And then things like player housing, obviously, like that's coming to WoW. I feel like people are just going to take player housing and keep running with it in all MMOs, because I feel like that's such a thing. Like, it's such a focal point of what a lot of people want, of just collecting and displaying in-game items.
Yeah, I think
or achievements.
The novelty of, oh my god, I'm in a world exploring it with people, and I'm meeting human beings online, except this guy whose name's Jeff is actually Grubfuck the Deballer. And that, I think that has passed. I don't think people care about, even MOBA or, various shootery MMO things, right? I feel like the concept it's old now, right? It's not, the gimmick's gone. So it has to be an entertaining game. It can't just be log in, do your dailies, and then hope you get enough reputation. Like, that's dead. Like, that is a dumb way to do things anymore. So I would think more casual play is probably what you would expect. The big question is, will people still be willing to spend $14-15 a month versus a free thing where they have to pay little gotcha things? Like, that's kind of the space we're in now, is companies figuring that out. And I'm gonna let you know, they're definitely gonna pick the it's free but we charge you for little tiny things. And I don't know. I feel like as a genre, MOBAs are kind of in the or not MOBAs, but MMOs are in the RTS category of like, yeah, there'll be a few, but it's not going to be a huge thing anymore.
Yeah. It's, because I always think, like, what can they add? But then it's like, they'll try to do things like, we're going to make crafting and gathering and trading more intense, but, like, you can only go so far before you start hitting, like, EVE Online tiers, where it's like, you got the spreadsheet open. You're like, I'm trading you 8 billion tons of ore, and I've fought off pirates trying to steal it, and they cut my internet and doxed me, but I got it. And you're like, oh, okay.
But I think that genuinely is a very good point, that, like, most of the things you could do have been done. And they exist. So why would you need to create something different? And we saw they did for a long time. People tried to create new versions of, like, the WoW killer, and it never stuck. Most of them are gone, and WoW's still here because, you know, when people find their home online, they don't want to leave it. Except that guy who drove away. He really wants.
Yeah, he's getting out of here.
He's out of here.
Yeah, it's like you got to do your own thing. It's like Final Fantasy does its own thing. WoW started kind of doing its own thing after. I feel like they used to do their own thing. Then they got kind of lost, and now they're going back to it again. It's kind of the same with even just books and movies and everything. Like, most of the time, everything's been done. Like, nothing's really new. But what's new is your spin on it and the ways you can do it. Like, you could be like, oh, it's the hero's journey, but with a mailman. Like, I don't know. You could just, like, take random things, be like, oh, I've never seen that with a mailman before. Like, and then Kevin Costner tries to do it.
I was about to say, you're giving Kevin Costner ideas right now.
But you know what? At least they're trying, right?
Sure,
and that's kind of the thing. I think people, it's like how The Lion King is Hamlet or whatever, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like they just took Hamlet and they made their own version of it with animals and stuff. But you know what? It works.
Yeah, I literally the other day saw Thunderbolts, the new Marvel movie. First Marvel movie in a while I've actually really enjoyed. I think the reason why I enjoyed it is because it didn't feel like a Marvel movie. Like, there's Marvel elements for sure, but, like, the thing I liked about it is it's essentially Suicide Squad, which is a thing that existed, but what they did is they made it less about, like, we're going to tell a bunch of comedic things, and made it more character-based. And so I don't know what the reviews are. I don't know what's going on with the movie, but I liked it because it felt like, oh, this is a character film about these characters going through stuff, rather than these are superheroes fighting giant robots. You know what I mean? And that's a different spin on it compared to what we've had from a lot of Marvel movies lately, which has been, like, intolerable.
Yeah.
And so you can do that. You can come up with creative ways of telling a thing that, even though we got about 12 movies that are roughly the same as Thunderbolts, this one felt different to me. And I was like, okay, I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that answered the question.
I hope it did.
Yeah. And that's our dear illustrious sirs.
All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Day. Screeching like a gull is the goal of this bird-brained contest.
What?
The European Gull Screeching Championship attracted 60 seagull sound-alikes from 14 countries to the coastal town of Depan, Belgium.
All right, that makes a little more sense. I was like, this better not be in America. Who would fly all the way here to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. But they did to Belgium. It's good to have a gull, even if it's screeching like a seagull. And that was the aim of the 5th annual European Gull Screeching Championship. This is only the 5th one, which attracted 60 seagull sound-alikes from 14 countries to Belgium this past weekend.
First off, really quickly, it just hit me. Mm-hmm. I was like, this sounds insane. Like, the screeching like a seagull, it makes no sense to me. I don't understand. It's like the pig calls here in the States, but I get pig calls here in the States because Americans are weird. I get that. But in Belgium, I was like, surely they would not do something so silly. And then I realized what you just said. It's the 5th anniversary, right? The 5th one. It was started in 2020, which means COVID caused this. That makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just sitting around and like, dude, The world's getting too crazy. We need to start doing our seagull contest.
Like, I got to get out. I've been in the house for so long.
Do.
I just need to screech.
Contestants were awarded points based on their sound and performance in 3 categories: adult, junior, and colony. That's a group of seagulls. The contest is intended to create a more positive image of the seabirds, which have been called trash birds, beach rats, and klepto gulls by naysayers.
Klepto gulls.
Like the naysayers.
the naysayers of seagulls. They're not even real, dude. I've never seen one before in my life.
Gulls are known to be so intrusive that one zoo in Blackpool, England, hired people to dress up in inflatable eagle costumes to scare the birds away.
That's so funny.
But gulls won't get any hate from Denmark's Anna Brinald, who took gold in the quirky contest. I like that seagulls like fries, because I love fries, and they're all just a bit misunderstood, like me, and they're cute. But she admitted, practicing for the bird brain contest has its challenges. I worked with seagulls. I went to the beach, and I looked at many seagulls, and I thought that they looked nice, and I screeched at them, but they became scared of me, she said. Maybe because I'm saying something wrong in seagull language. I don't know. Brinald said she was slightly under the weather on Sunday. She hopes to defend her crown next year and improve upon her performance. I think next year, if I participate, I'll be even better. I'll, first of all, not be sick. And I think I'll need some more feathers. Meanwhile, 10-year-old Coop...
Okay.
Needs more feathers. Meanwhile, 10-year-old Cooper Wallace won the junior category for a second year in a row.
Wow, Coop understands.
While his 7-year-old sister Shelby came in 4th. Damn, they get the Seagull family.
I would.
Wow, they really do. Their mother, Lauren Wallace, was very proud of her avian imitating offspring. Oh, I thought she was going to be competing too. Okay, never mind. It's a very tough competition. Everyone who takes part is very, very good. I'm very proud for them both. We are so happy that Cooper won again, but Shelby's going to be after that title next year, I think. She says, I think. Like, maybe. She might be there, but she might
I've never wondered more what a home life is like.
All the kids running around
screaming
like seagulls.
Yeah. No, that would drive me crazy.
I'm trying to record. People are like, dude, you got seagulls in your house.
Like, no, those are just my kids.
Lauren Wallace said the family will definitely return to next year's contest, which is something she admits is hard to imagine. It's really an amazing event, but not one I'd ever thought we'd have a talent for in the family, she said.
I mean,
that's
yeah, okay, it's a talent, all right.
Also, hold on, here's the article of it.
No. That's not what I expected to see. The article
Yep.
Crendor sent me, the image on the article is a woman with white face paint, almost like a clown, but very clearly a seagull.
Yep. She's got like yellow lipstick for like beak.
The creepiest thing
lipstick.
is, the scariest thing is, I don't know if she purposefully drew red lines around her eyes or if her eyes are red.
Oh, she did.
But she has the exact same contacts as Anakin Skywalker when he becomes evil. And it's like crazy looking.
Oh my God, she does. Yeah, that is something.
It is something.
Some of the other people, it's got like little seagull knitted hats, which seems a lot more
Cute
tame.
and fun. Yeah, this seems this seems like you really like seagulls, huh?
Yeah, some people a little too much. That's a lot. And that's the big news story of the day.
All right, well, that's it for us. Thanks so much for listening or watching or enjoying this podcast. Crendor, hit them with the socials.
We got socials, youtube.com/Cox Crendor Podcast. Leave your weather requests. Leave your Dear Illustrious Sir request. Leave your likes and subscribes. Also, we're on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. We're all over the place. Also, youtube.com/Cox and Crendor if you want the animations.
Hey.
Also, We're on our own stuff. YouTube Jesse Cox, YouTube Crendor, Twitch Jesse Cox, Twitch Crendor, Facebook Jesse Cox, Facebook Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor's taken, Patreon Jesse Cox, Patreon Crendor, Instagram. No, I already said that. TikTok Jesse Cox, TikTok Crendor. Yes.
All right. That's it for us. Thanks so much. We'll see y'all next time. And as always, to be continued.